Hey guys, welcome back to Don't Be Gentle. I'm Dylan, and with me here today is probably the best jawline you'll see in Manhattan. You may know him from Broadway, television, or from his show on Sirius XM radio. Please welcome my friend John Hill.
Wow, thank you for that jawline.
Listen, we gotta represent,
Well,
man.
I do a little teeny
Okay,
contour check.
I've been kind of interested in like this thing. That would be
Mm.
kind of really the only thing I'd ever do.
No, I don't get anything in there. I put a little literal Westman Atelier contour stick, and you
Oh,
just do a little shadow. If you're under
nice.
some lights. No,
Okay,
I haven't had anything in there. In fact, to be honest, I I got Botox in my jaw because I
okay.
was
Yeah.
clenching and
I almost did
breaking
that.
teeth,
Yeah.
and it made it go down. So this should be even
Oh, okay.
more lit.
Yeah, no, let's not pretend that that's contour. Okay, like
There's a
you look
little,
good.
no, I do a little, I'm
Yeah.
telling you, just a little shade under
Little something,
here.
something.
Yeah.
Little something. Guys, we have I do consider Texas to be the South. Okay.
I do too.
I consider it Southern because I mean, y'all know I'm from Louisiana, so I consider you guys to be like Southern neighbors. Texas
Yes.
is kind of ambiguous, kind of like Florida, where it's like Florida is Southern, but it's not Southern.
Well, the
It's
thing about Texas is
Florida.
that they think they're their own state. They think their own country.
Right,
We
right, right.
wanted
Yeah.
to secede or seed. We wanted to secede
Yeah,
from
secede.
the nation. That's why it's the Lone Star. We are our
Yeah.
own
Okay, that's a good point.
country. So I think that it's because of that. We don't consider it the South South.
Yeah, and I think also like Texas. Yeah, you guys have a very strong sense of like identity,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
but technically it is Southern. So I think it's like you still have the same cultural like down home vibes to it.
Barbecue.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, and if you go anywhere else, if you come up to the Northeast, Texas is basically the South.
yeah, yeah. Because I think the difference with us is that in Louisiana, it's like it's like the Cajun Creole thing, and it's like the fried chicken kind of
Yeah.
vibes, soul
Yeah.
food.
Yeah.
You guys have like the Tex-Mex situation and
Yeah.
like
Very much.
ranchy kind of stuff, but still the warm vibes though. So technically, yeah.
Yeah, and I
Okay.
mean, and a lot of the same churches are there. My family's from
Oh
Mississippi,
yeah.
and my sister lives in Florida now. I mean, but I didn't really get a sense of the actual deep South until I went to Mississippi,
Yeah.
Alabama, and that type.
Yeah, that's a whole different world
But
from Texas.
Florida is its own thing. You're right, because there's Miami and beaches and stuff. But like,
Yeah.
there's a section in there that might as well be Louisiana.
Yeah, it's like the Panhandle. It's like
Hmm.
Panhandle is, it gives the same kind of vibes as that, but then you go through, and then like maybe like Orlando, maybe Central Florida, and then Southern Florida is like, yeah, its own fucking country. So
Gators,
yeah,
man.
yeah, Gator. Although we got those in Louisiana too.
Yeah,
So,
you do.
but so being originally from
Crawdads.
Texas, what? Don't make my mouth water.
Mm.
It's crawfish season right now.
We had crawdads in the creeks in Texas too.
I'm going home next month, and I'm finally going home for the first time in like years during peak crawfish season. So, it's gonna be incredible.
I don't
Um,
like a shellfish.
you don't?
I don't like a shrimp. No.
Well, see, even people who like shrimp don't like
Mm-mm.
crawfish though too, because it's
I would
like,
rather have a crawdad than a shrimp.
oh really?
Hmm.
Okay, nice.
I don't know why a crab. I'd rather have a crab. Like a shrimp is just
That's
like
taste, my friend.
there's doo doo in there.
Not doo doo.
I don't like that doo doo.
Yeah, that's not what I heard. No, just kidding. No, so being from Texas, how do you like? I mean, you've been gone for a while, but like, how do you?
Not too long.
How long?
Just kidding.
You're right. I feel like I've been gone for forever, and I've been gone since like 2012.
No,
or
it has
2011.
been a very long
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
First of all, how are you adjusting back being in New York? Because
Love
you
it.
moved here fairly recently, so.
Love it. I was here for a long time, back in LA, back here. I'm
Mhm.
so happy back, even though the apartment next to mine burnt down
Wait,
like
here?
a month after I got here in a brand new apartment. A lot of crap happened. It got really cold, coldest winters since
Yeah.
I was here the last time it was this cold. So anyway, but I'm even through all of that, I'm so happy to be back.
Nice. Yeah, you
Did
came
you ever
back-
live in LA?
I never lived in LA. I've been multiple times, but
I feel like
never
you would
lived
do
there.
well there.
You think?
Yeah. I don't know about personality, but you're
Yeah.
handsome and
I don't know.
they like you.
The weather like makes me salivate because the older I get, the more I need like sunshine and like the 70-degree vibe. Like,
Yeah.
listen, I get it. But every time I've gone there, it gives the like, who are you? What do you do? Vibes.
Yeah, but fuck all them.
Yeah, that's what I have to just tell myself.
Yeah.
Like, enjoy it for the good
It's
stuff.
very that, and that will never change. The people there are
Yeah.
terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but you can also say that about people in New York too.
It's worse there in LA.
Okay. Yeah.
But
I
yes,
mean,
I'm adjusting. I love it. I'm happy to be
good.
back.
Yeah. So if there are some parts of you that still feel very Texan,
Mm.
how does that translate having lived in LA and New York? Like how are those parts of yourself thriving or not thriving? You know?
That's a good question.
I mean, like for me, coming from Louisiana, the biggest thing I struggled with was like back home. There's a very much like, come on in, and like
Right.
expecting the goodness out of people. So that was a tough
Yeah.
transition for me.
But I still am that way,
No, good.
I
We have to
think.
hold on to it like for dear
Yeah.
life. I just feel
Yeah.
like whenever I moved to New York, it felt out of place. You
Totally,
know?
totally. Yeah, but it's interesting when you get to a place like this, you realize what's ingrained in you so
Right.
much. I think I have a little bit of that, and I also have just like farm or ranch time. You know, what I mean, I'm on
Mm-hmm.
kind of like sometimes I feel like super early in the morning before the sun rises, being productive, but then like throughout the
Yeah.
rest of the day, it's kind of like I can come across very, very too chill, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, whenever I first got here, I was very like bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, and then I had to acclimate very quickly. But
Yeah,
it's interesting you said like we said we have to hold on to it. Living in the city, I now feel the contrast so much,
totally.
and it makes me appreciate that part of myself even
Yeah.
more, you know?
Yeah. That'll be, it's weird. The older you get, that gets even stronger. Like I
Yeah,
feel
yeah.
more, my memories of when I was a kid are so vivid and because
Mm-hmm.
it's so different from where I grew up.
Yeah. When I was like in my 20s and came to the city, I
How old
was
are you
like
now?
35.
Oh, okay. And you're a Capricorn.
Capricorn, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, when I moved here, I was like, I'm gonna like fully engulf myself in the city and everything. And I was like, I'm gonna try to be like a real New Yorker. And then the older I've gotten, I'm like, man, do I want to move out west? like to like farms and stuff like, the older you get, it's like you seek that
Yeah.
your roots,
What's
you
your
know?
ultimate dream goal
Oh God.
besides this podcast?
Well, honestly, every time I go back to like South Florida, I'm like, dude, I would really love to end up back here
Yeah.
because
And
I
doing
like
what? Like,
being
what do
close
you
to the
picture
ocean.
yourself doing?
This, baby.
Yeah.
I just want to just keep talking to people as
Great.
long as I can, you know? But like living somewhere where, I don't know, I like to think that like I could split my time between here and like maybe Florida or someplace warm and close to the ocean
Mm-hmm.
because what I get out of New
Yeah.
York, I can only get in New York, you know?
Right. Which is what?
Which is like the history and culture of the place and
Yeah.
some of the like personalities and the easy access to every type of like culture and food, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing I said to someone the other day. I said, if you're randomly craving the most like niche kind of food or cuisine, you can find it somewhere here. I didn't grow up around
Totally.
that,
Totally.
you know?
Yeah.
Our resources were limited.
Are you an extrovert or introvert?
I know this probably sounds so fucking cliche,
You're
but
an extroverted introvert.
correct. Yeah.
Same.
So basically, it's like you can read the room and
Yeah.
turn it on when you need to,
Totally.
but you retreat
I
for
don't like
comfort.
being around people that much, but I feel like in New York, I feel like I'm among the people all the time.
Yeah.
I'm not isolating any less than I was in LA, but I
Yeah.
feel more integrated and engaged with other people because you're around them more. In LA,
Yeah.
you're just in your car in your home, in your car in your home, and if you don't see anybody, you don't see anybody.
That's
But
true. Yeah.
here,
Uh-huh.
I
Uh-huh.
end up feeling like I'm more engaged.
I found that same way when I lived in Florida. It was like
Yeah.
you go from your home to your car to your job
Yeah,
to your car, you know?
yeah,
You know, it's so funny. Actually, I heard someone make this point the other day is that the reason people think New Yorkers are so like heinous and rude, part of the reason is because they are, but we wear it with a badge of pride. But also, people outside of New York, you get to experience your road rage in the privacy of your car.
right.
We're
No,
having
pedestrian
it on the
rage.
street. Yeah.
I say fuck you to people all day.
Yeah.
Where the
There's that
fuck are you
Texas.
going? What are you looking at? Look where you're fucking going.
Yeah.
What's happening on your phone? Put your fucking phone away. I'm like going crazy.
I do it via body language. I'll like
Well,
out of the way, you know.
right, same. I give dirty looks
Yeah.
just as my second job.
Yeah, I was in Florida recently, and the second I got back here, I got in a fight with somebody on the subway.
You got to fight?
Not
fist
like
fight?
not a fist fight, like an
Okay.
argument with a woman. I was like going past her, and I like moved out of the way like this, and behind me, she was like, I was checking something on my phone in the subway station, and I was walking, and I just moved out of the way for her, and I heard her be like, get off your fucking phone. You wouldn't bump into me, you dick. And I was like, bitch,
Okay,
you're like
T, though.
800 pounds though. That's why I bumped into you. But
Well, that's not her
like,
fault. You can get off your phone. She can't
I
shed
can get on my
800
phone.
pounds
No, the thing
spontaneously.
was, I didn't even like bump into her. I moved out of the way, and I think she thought that I was like, ugh. But I was minding my business. Like, it was fine. There was like no bumping.
So it's all
whatever.
her fault.
It wasn't her fault, but I wanted to turn around and be like, "Are you okay? Like, I promise it's gonna be okay. Like, it's not that deep." But it was so funny. As soon as I got back in New York, an altercation, I was like, "Well, that's what it is."
Yeah, you got to be careful though, because like
People be shooting people.
people
out
be
here.
shooting people,
Get
and
on the
like as a
subway,
tall
like-
white man,
Mm-hmm.
you got to get up. You got to give up that seat. You got to be polite. You can't because you're already an ass. People look at you like you're
Existing.
an
I'm
asshole.
an
You
asshole,
are a
yeah.
dick. You're an entitled dick taking up too much space. So like,
Yeah.
I feel very like. I'm always holding the door for people. I'm always letting people go just because I know that everybody's like, ugh, this fucking guy.
Yeah,
I look like the man. People, I've been attacked.
just because you have like a good face and you're tall and white.
But
maybe
I
so.
mean, hey, we have a lot of privilege. But like, I know that like when I walk through, I've been literally attacked by people who are just
Oh,
like
yeah.
in a mood, and they're
Yeah,
like, "Oh,
yeah, yeah.
fuck this guy." And
Yeah,
I'm like,
honestly-
"No, I'm like sensitive and gay."
With that kind of stuff, like when they just throw a fit and I know it's just them having a fit, I kind of giggle at it because I'm like, oh, that's just New York, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I never really take offense to it. I'm just like, that's New York, baby. And
But I can
kinda-
always spot it though. I'm like, "Oh, this person thinks I'm the man," and they're
Yeah,
mad,
yeah,
and
yeah.
they're mad at me. It's fine.
I get it. It's kind of like whenever like a woman like looks threatening, you're like, no, I'm gay. I promise. You're
I
in
know.
it's a safe space.
I
you know?
think that gay guys and straight women, there's always that moment where we clock each other, and it's like, okay,
Okay, we're good.
She's fine.
Yeah, we're good. Okay. Wait, this actually leads into a question, one of my questions I had for you, which is
I'm gay.
what you heard it here first. What are there any parts of yourself that you find yourself quieting that you wish you would highlight more? Like, is there anything that you sort of like mitigate about yourself that you wish you would celebrate?
I do wonder. Yeah, I'm trying to figure that out, actually. I'm trying to find out what that is because I think growing up in the church that I did and in the environment I did, I think, and in the time, you're younger than me, but like in the time, it was very, I like kind of behaved well.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder what I would have been like had, like, maybe I'm trans and I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I don't.
Because you're saying like you didn't go
I
through
was
that
like,
discovery.
look like a boy, blend in, be like everybody
Yeah.
else, don't stand out, so you don't get bullied, and just be like, get into normal person drag.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm like, if I was just my authentic self, I don't know what that is. I think. Like,
No, I mean
but
that's a good point.
I mean, I think if I would know if I was trans because I would hate my
Yeah, yeah,
body
yeah.
and like I love my dick, but like, and like
Word around town is that a
don't-
lot of people do.
I don't hate my.
Yeah, no.
Physical body.
I would never say that. Like maybe I am.
And I'm
only
pretty
because-
flamboyant. It's not even about being gay, but
Yeah,
I
yeah,
wonder
yeah.
like what would my authentic soul be if I hadn't had so many kind of like parameters placed on me.
Yeah, yeah. I'm like acutely aware of like certain parts of myself that are like definitely what I am because I don't ever want to like downplay that it's like this like frivolous thing like oh maybe I am whatever, but there is. To your point, yeah, growing up in a place kind of like where we were.
Yeah. You don't want to stand
you
out and be, you're already the sissy
Yes,
kid.
you stifle a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Even with height, I was so much.
Yes.
Like, I don't know if you had this experience, but like in high school, I wished I was shorter so I didn't
Totally.
stick out.
I was embarrassed.
Right. But now as an adult, I fucking love being tall.
I'm grateful that I'm tall, but it took a
Yo.
while to get there. I was also fat.
No, you were not.
I was a chubby. Everybody has like an awkward phase.
I was like the opposite. I was like skin and bones.
I wish I was skin and bones.
It was, our grass is always greener.
That's why,
but-
like, when I think when people look at you, you know, as we get older, it's like you try to look your best and,
Mm-hmm.
you know, get into like cute person drag, but like inside, like I feel like a big fat faggot.
Yeah, we always kind of feel like our like older
Yeah.
selves. It's like we're cosplaying.
Like
or
those things,
something.
like this is who you're bullying or this is who you're mean to on the text, whatever. I want to like show
Yeah.
that, like my ugliest photo from when I was like in 8th grade.
Yeah, it's like you're afraid that people are gonna find you out. Like that I'm like actually that. you
Yeah,
know?
but when you get older, like you realize none of this matters. The only thing that matters is
Right.
being your authentic self, whatever that may
Yeah.
be. And yeah, so I'm trying to kind of figure that out. I think
I tend to like stifle a lot of silliness about me. Like I think
Oh.
the older we get, also like just with social media and also being like a gay man and stuff, there's like this expectation of like being a very like like I don't know, like strong and like masculine and very grounded kind of
Yeah.
like persona. And I think there is something valuable in that as we
Yeah.
get older to like mature and like carry
Uh-huh.
yourself in a certain mature way like that. But we do stifle a lot of silliness to kind of fit that mold. And I am a very silly person. Anybody who like is really close to me knows that. But I do find myself I talk about this a lot. I read the room a little too strongly and then I
Mm.
silence parts of that. And I'm like, dude, like let that craziness out a little bit, you know?
Definitely. You'll find, I think, we dress for the male gaze as gay
Right.
guys, and you want to be like
Desirable
hot
and
mask, whatever. But you
mysterious.
realize after a while that like the people who are actually pulling are the silly ones with the good
Right,
personality and the funny
absolutely.
ones and the ones who are
Yeah.
different. The people who I wouldn't want to touch a heteronormative, like basic corporate, like does nothing for me. Like give me a weirdo, a freak, somebody silly.
The hottest ones to me are the ones who look like that but
Yeah,
act like the goofy.
exactly. Yeah,
That is hot. Like
it,
when you have like an aesthetic,
yeah,
but like you really are like a fucking weird
yeah.
bozo. I love that.
Definitely. And like they're a dime a dozen, like normal guys who are like hot in the moment. You're like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's a hot guy, but they got nothing to talk about. Is
Yeah, no, 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 no,
I'm
no.
out.
No, I'm looking for a bozo.
Yeah.
I it's Yeah, it's that the contrast of that. It's like I need you to not take yourself too seriously.
Yeah.
I talk about that a lot too, like when in terms of like guys that I look for. I like a guy who doesn't take himself too seriously, who's very salt of the earth, but also like isn't he, like he's not too fussy about stuff. And I
Mm,
feel like you need to be able to like breathe and like unclench, and that to me is like is conducive to like being silly and fun and stuff,
right.
you know?
Yeah, sometimes I think I'm too silly. I want to be more serious. Like I think yeah. But I
It's like
embrace the silliness.
we equate seriousness and like or like over seriousness with
Mm-hmm.
like mystery and desirability, but I think that really just like hides some of our like funnest
Yeah. And
qualities,
it's all really confidence when you think about it. It's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
even
yeah.
serious or silly. Like whatever it is, if you're being yourself and you're
Yeah.
confident about it, that's all anybody wants to be around.
Yeah, people think that like no personality and like keeping your cards really close to your chest is confidence, but to me it's like if you show all these facets of your personality,
Yeah.
the confidence is that you don't give a fuck how you're
Right,
perceived. That is
exactly.
confidence,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love a goofy guy. Yeah. Like somebody and also somebody who can also like adjust too. Like when to kind of like tighten up,
Sure.
but
Sure.
yeah. This kind of actually leads into my next question. Have you noticed, as you've probably noticed on social media,
Mm.
the Goo Goo Dolls are kind of having a moment with
Yeah.
Iris,
Yeah.
and one of the lines from that is, "I don't want the world to see me because I don't think
Mm.
that they'd understand." So, what parts of
Mm.
yourself do you think are misunderstood? Like, have you noticed throughout your life and career?
Well, I'm not my radio show, I'm on the show on the air every day talking about just my personal life and my
Right.
thoughts and my brain and my worldview. And I feel like I'm pretty clear at
Yeah.
this point. It took a long time.
Yeah. So I guess
Well,
maybe years ago, maybe.
back in the day when I first started, I was like an intense drug addict and like hiding that and keeping it a secret. And
Fierce.
now I got sober and like I talk about that on the radio all the time. So now
Mhm.
I feel like I'm an open book, like beyond.
What a great place to be, man.
Yeah, but it took a long time to get there. But that would probably be it.
Yeah. Yeah, I am that journey. That's so good that you're like in that place now because I feel like a lot of that stuff happens. For me, a lot of it happened in like my late 20s, early 30s
Yeah,
before. Thankfully, we have this sort of tool that, talking to people,
right.
it bears a lot of our personality and our soul bearing.
Yeah.
Um, but I think one thing that I thought maybe would be the case with you is that when people look a certain way,
Mm.
people assume like lack of depth. They
Mm.
assume like asshole and
Mm.
stuff like that.
Well, but do you know how you look?
What do you mean?
I think I have facial blindness or blindness to myself.
Oh, no, I feel the same way.
Like
I
when I get compliments, like you complimented me in the beginning, I'm like,
baby, that's our upbringing though. I think
That's nice. I mean, it's so nice to hear, but like
I don't believe it either.
I'm not walking through the world thinking like I'm the best
Right.
looking person at
Correct.
all.
Me and Andrew talked about that last week because he was like, "What?" I asked him what
The opposite,
compliments.
actually. I feel like I'm insecure.
Yeah, I was like, "What compliments do you believe in? Don't you believe?" And I said, "I don't believe when people are like you're attractive because I'm like the proof is in the pudding,
Right.
and like I would see more fruits of it if that were the case." But yeah, no, but and I think just like growing up, nobody like my family, we didn't like compliment people by being like you're hot. We'd be like, God, you are so sweet, you know?
Right.
So
Well, that was what was encouraged to you. Like, it would have been like that was a quality that was admirable, was being like humble.
yeah, humble and unaware.
Yeah,
you know?
we
I
don't
think
want
it's
to
still a great quality.
totally, and I
you
think
know?
that's why people like you and like me, and I think that's why people are attracted to us, not physically, but just like they like us. I think is because they realize that this is not,
Yeah,
you know.
'cause-
I mean, and I am obsessive. I'm vain, you know.
we all are. Like
But I'm not. I really. I don't know. I don't really know.
I acknowledge what I have that like works for me, but I'll never be like, oh, I'm like regulation attractive.
Yeah,
I
no.
recognize like what I can use for my benefit.
Yeah.
But I never just think, oh, I'm good and I'm safe and I'm in the clear because I look no. Because there's always somebody hotter and so like hotter technically. So I'm like I'm never gonna just be like no. Mm-mm.
What is your idea of a hot guy?
I usually think when I think of well, no, when I mean like textbook hot, I mean like people who are like have a very symmetrical face, you know, a great body, whatever, someone very, very marketable. My version of hot is not that.
Yeah, what is that?
Usually my friends, I always tell my friends, I like somebody to be like 20% ugly. I like I like an
Totally.
80%
I
hot
like
guy.
a gap tooth, a lazy eye,
big nose. Ugh.
bow-legged, gap tooth,
Yeah.
lazy eye.
To me, it's big
Bald.
nose. You said bald?
Yeah.
Love bald.
Yeah, love bald.
Love baldies.
And that's
Yeah.
not; those aren't ugly. We're saying ugly traditionally.
Yeah, by
not
these like
not
weird standards
like-
of beauty. Yeah.
right. Like those things are just make me like so excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like a 80% hot guy. Like models and stuff, I have no interest in that whatsoever.
Yeah, yeah.
But one thing I did find when I was like, I mean, now I think I'm at the age where it's like my friends are like now more mature and stuff. But when I was like in my late 20s, one thing I would always hear, and this is why I felt like misunderstood to a certain degree, was that my friends would like make a reference, and because I didn't know the reference, I'd be like, wait, what do you mean? And they would say, just sit there and look pretty. And that
yeah.
incensed me. I was like,
Totally.
I am gonna beat the shit out of you right now. Because it's like it's so belittling.
It's
You know?
dismissive.
It's dismissive.
That's the one thing that I think makes me the most angry. If I get angry, the thing that sets me off, I've learned now the things that really do it, and that's the number one is feeling dismissed,
yeah.
like or interrupted. Like if you're trying to say something and someone does, it's like no.
Your
more
voice
than
is
anything
like what
else.
you have. You know, your
Yeah.
voice is how you like
Yeah.
present, how you show yourself, and like.
It might be a middle child thing. Are you a middle child?
No, I'm not. I'm
You're
not
are you the
middle child,
baby?
no. I'm the baby. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Yeah. That's why I always
Girls,
wanna be
boys?
baby. A mix of
Okay,
all of them.
okay.
But I have half siblings, so
Okay.
it kind of like runs the game as far as age. My oldest sibling is about to be 60. 'Cause
Damn.
My dad's 83, so my oldest sibling's about to be 60, and then I'm 35. So kind of like
it.
there's a range there.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know. That may have something to do with it also, but yeah, I feel like that some dismissive and like belittling. Yeah, that makes me hot.
Yeah,
that makes
me
me want
too.
to chew nails, dude.
Me too.
So fucking annoying. So okay, I kind of want to like switch up a little bit.
Okay.
I don't know what's kind of like been your dating life in the city, like in New York, because I'm sure LA it's been kind of different, but
LA was dried up. LA, I wasn't.
barren.
I couldn't. Yeah, I wasn't really doing anything. I wasn't really dating. And then here, I've had more luck.
When you
but
say dried up, did you mean like you had kind of like already been there, done that,
no,
or it was just
there was
no
nobody
prospects?
I wasn't
Yeah.
meeting people that I felt like I wanted to go out with.
Yeah.
And that's on me too, because I really didn't get out there either.
Yeah.
You know, since moving to New York, I deleted Grindr just because I was like, I'm looking at this thing all the time and I'm not meeting people.
Correct. I did the same thing.
And the
It's a
people,
boredom tactic thing. Like,
it's like a compulsion. You're just checking it. And the
yeah.
people that I was talking to, I was like, I wouldn't piss on you if you were on fire. I wouldn't spit on you. You know what I mean? Like
I just,
you're
I
not
don't,
someone I ever want to
right.
speak to. Why am I sending you
I
a
just can't,
nude?
I can't handle the aggressiveness of it. Like, what are you doing right now? I'm like,
Right.
bitch, I'm at Trader Joe's.
Right. Now,
Like, I'm not like,
I do dabble in sniffies every now and then just to see
oh,
who's
okay.
on,
Oh,
you
yeah,
know.
because that's kind of like the Pokemon Go version,
Right. And
you
I don't
know?
also hook up on there, but I just like sometimes I'll check in just to get a sense of who's around.
I do like that idea better because one thing that makes me not want to use Grindr is because some of the people on there are 8 miles away. I'm not getting on a train to go
Yeah.
hook up with somebody. So at least with Sniffies, it's
Yeah.
like who's in my direct proximity, you know?
Yeah. And you get like I met a neighbor on there,
Oh,
not
nice. Yeah.
sexually, but
I love
just
that when you make
neighbor.
friends from it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I had a really good I had a couple of really good dates around in the holidays. A month to what was this, March? A couple months ago.
Yeah.
It feels like yesterday.
Yeah, correct.
I go through long dry spells too.
Oh, yeah.
I go through
Oh, yeah. I'm in the middle of one right now.
either weeks or months of like no hookups, no dates, and I'm fine with it. I'm
Yeah.
not. I am. I think demisexual, where I have to have a crush on someone or like something or think I could like something about them. I don't need a hookup just to have a body next to me.
Yeah, I don't find I enjoy that
I don't
part.
need it.
There's too many, like, there's too many free radicals, like, and like things that's like, I don't
Exactly.
know, I don't know what,
Exactly.
and I've had, like, in my 20s when I did kind of like dabble in that, I had too many bad experiences.
I've tried it. It just is
Yeah, we
never
all
my
did.
my
Yeah.
go-to. I'm in there. A lot of my friends are just in the rhythm of, okay, it's 3 p.m. Who's my hookup for later on, and who's my hookup
Oh,
for
yeah,
tomorrow and
man.
stuff. And I think that's great. I just am trying to. Maybe that's an answer to your question about what things do you hide or do you keep quiet. Like
Mm-hmm.
I felt bad about this. I felt bad that I'm like something wrong with me. Am I like less of a man that I'm not like pounding every night a new person? And I
No,
don't. I think
the
I'm
opposite,
I'm
actually.
normal. Like I'm not normal, but for me that's what feels normal.
Yeah.
And I think I like to hook up with people if I have to just like them a little bit. I don't, I
Yeah.
can't hook up with somebody because I don't like a lot of people personally. And if
No,
I
I
don't
get
like your
that.
personality,
I
I
just-
don't want to be with you.
I just have like niche taste.
Yeah.
And so that does not, like,
Although there
there's-
are a lot of 80% ugly people in the city.
Yeah, but they're not the right kind for me. Yeah.
I need someone who I like being around. Like,
Yeah,
and
no.
every now, yeah, I went on a good date with a guy, a couple good dates, and then I liked him, and then he was like grossed out by the fact that I wanted to date,
Oh, yeah.
and I was like, well, like you wish, bitch.
Yeah, you're like, no, I wasn't even going. It's like I'm being rejected from something I didn't even want.
That's also.
No, that's fucked up.
I'm trying to get better at that as an adult. Like, if you don't like me, if I get like any like twinge that you don't like me, like you're dead, you're blocked.
Oh, yeah, no. Listen,
It's very immature.
I'm a huge proponent for that.
I feel like people are gonna hate me on this show.
No. Here's the thing, is because I agree with a lot of stuff, so you'll hate me too. But I told someone the other day, I said, the second you don't want me, I don't want you.
Okay, so I started a new therapist, and he was like, "Okay, so let's go through your texts with this guy that you kind of liked, and who was the last person to respond?" I'm like, "Well, he was." Like, "Well, did you like put a heart on it? Did you respond?" I'm like, "Well, no, but it's inferred that like," and he's like, "Put a heart on there, or say, hey, when can I see you again?" I'm like, "No, I was getting the vibe that like he wasn't into it," and he's like,
Oh, and they're like,
"No,
you're jumping the gun.
practice." Yeah, I'm like, "Listen, I like to take a hint, even if it's not a hint,
Right.
like just to
Yeah.
make sure, because I'm embarrassed if I'm like needy or pick me,
Yeah.
you know."
Yeah, it's
And
like you feel like you're begging for it, and it's like, no. Yeah, no. But for me, it's like in the case of like if I'm seeing somebody, I usually get over people pretty quickly
Yeah.
because as soon as I know you don't want me,
Right.
I'm unattracted to you because that's not not liking me is not an attractive quality to me. Like
Right.
I'm attracted to you because I know you want me, you know?
Right.
That is real, like that is
Yeah.
what I gravitate towards.
What's your longest relationship?
Like 5 or 6 months.
That's fine.
I mean, to me, part of it is there's some extenuating circumstances. I've moved a decent amount of
Yeah.
times, but also it took a while for me to really lock into what I want,
Yeah.
who I am. I really believe that you need to get rid of as much baggage as possible before you add any more baggage to another person's life, before you connect yourself to someone. I mean, everybody has baggage, but I believe that you should try to get rid of a little bit and like exorcise some of your demons and solve some of that stuff before you enter into a relationship, because that person takes on a lot of that, and I don't want to add baggage to someone's life. I want to,
Yes,
they're going to take
you're
some,
right.
of course, that's innate,
But I also think, and this is one thing, like I was annoyed at my therapist for making me do that, but what I did, I think he's right about something. Like I haven't had a boyfriend since 2020, the pandemic, or 2021. Like,
Yeah.
and we were only together for like 8 months or something. And then before that, it was like 10 years. So it's been a long time.
Wow.
No, like 10 years since I had a boyfriend.
Oh,
Like it's
okay,
been,
okay.
and that was 5 years. So the longest was 5 years, but like it's been a while. So I've been alone or single for a long time.
Alone.
I've been single
alone.
for years. And I am so comfortable and very happy and like everything is fine. And my therapist was like, well, why don't you try to date somebody? And I was like, yeah, I mean, I'm open to it. I assume I'm open to it. I think when the person appears, they'll appear. And then he had a good point, and that is like, you can convince yourself of all sorts of things when you're just by yourself. Like I do this. I'm like, well, I'm the best communicator. I am so easy to be around. I'm so easy to travel with. I'm the best friend. I'm a great listener. And he's like, yeah, but unless you're working those things out with another person,
Right, yep.
you don't, you can tell yourself all those things all you want, but, and he was right.
Yeah.
Because I went up, I was like, okay, I guess there might be something there. I started to like a guy a little bit, and the first time we hooked up, and like we were like naked, we had just hooked up,
Correct.
and
That's usually how it happens.
I had all these thoughts. My mind started going like, oh, I'm not cute enough. I'm not rich enough for this guy. He's not gonna
Whoa.
like me after this. Like all these most insane, insecure thoughts, and I was like, oh, it's because I opened my heart up like a teeny little bit. So I think like if you want to grow as a person, if you want to become the next like version of yourself, I do think working on things relationally with other people is going to get you there, but it's scary. And I think I'm single a little bit out of fear because I'm comfortable in my own ways.
I completely agree with that. I made this point a couple episodes ago where someone said, like, do you want a committed relationship? I said, I think there's some important adult human benchmarks that I need to cross that only come from being involved with someone.
Yeah.
And it's not like I want to use somebody as a tool to learn. No,
No,
but
it's
it's a
how
life
you grow.
experience.
Yeah.
And to your point, there's some parts, some stubborn parts of myself that
Totally.
I really need someone to play off of and to challenge me
Right.
to get past.
And I
that,
do want to, I've learned like, I want to grow to be the best person I can be, to be like to maximize life, and I don't know if I can do it by myself.
What sign are you?
Scorpio.
Okay. I mean, to me, this is very, very Capricorn. This is full on Capricorn, because it's like we're independent, and it's like, I will say that like that is an admirable quality to me in other people. Whenever people are really good with their own company, I have some serial monogamist friends in my life that to me,
Like they don't want to be alone.
yeah, they go from a 2-year to a 4-year to a 1-year to a 3-year. And it's like, to me, I wonder if they're afraid to be alone with their own thoughts.
I love being alone with my own thoughts. And even if and when I do get a boyfriend, our relationship will be that I get a lot of time alone with my own thoughts. Yeah.
That's one good thing, though, is that nowadays everybody's realizing there's no rules.
Yeah.
Like there's no, like
That'll be a rule.
There's no one template for how a relationship has to work.
Well,
So it's like,
you asked earlier about like things, I don't know how you phrased it, but like when I was younger, my boyfriend was an extrovert, and he still is an extrovert. And he used to get mad at me at parties. He's like, not that I wasn't any fun, because I was fun, but I was not the center of attention. I always wanted to be in a corner with one other person talking. I didn't want to be in the mix, and he did. And like, I just am an introvert who likes to talk to one person at a party and leave.
I'm the same way.
I don't like to talk to him. It drains me. After 30 minutes at a big event, I'm done. And like, I'm like, hey, social battery ran out. I'm out.
Yeah.
And it's fine.
Those people I think are good to have at the parties, but I don't think I could date someone like that, because to me, I'm like, why are you trying to be like the clown? Like I would rather you. That's why I don't go to.
I thought he was a star fucker. I'm like, what are you doing here? Why are you networking?
Right.
Like, we're just chill and have fun at this party. But just as I like to be alone, and that's how I get my life.
Yeah.
That's how he got
Yeah.
energized.
It's not to yuck anybody's yums. It's just
Yeah.
that like some people work well having their other half be that because it creates a balance.
Yeah.
To me, I'm like when people say like what's your ideal date? I'm like somewhere where I can hear what you're saying.
Right.
And
Oh my
so
God.
like
Are you a little autistic?
I don't know. I don't. Maybe I am. I don't.
I think I'm
actually,
full.
Honestly, I might be because I don't like loud noises, bro. The music's always at a very sensible
Listen.
level. I don't do clubs, bar, anything really loud. No way.
All respect to the neurodivergent community. I have ADHD. But I think I missed the autism diagnosis.
Yeah,
For real.
I definitely have the anxiety, the crippling anxiety, but maybe there's some of that in there too.
I have the loud noises issue.
Yeah, man. It makes my whole body lock up. My sister used to make fun of me because we'd be in the car and I'd be like, "Turn this down." I'm like, "Man, see, this is the level you can vibe to." She was like, "Are we about to pray? Like, what is going on here?" She wanted to crank, and I was just like, "No fucking way!" Like road trips, I'm like, "No, no, 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 no."
It hurts my soul. I think that's why I think there's something different with me. Like when I hear something that's the wrong volume or someone's talking at a certain level, even on the subway, like across the car, they'll be talking wrong. I don't know. I just fixate.
They'll be talking wrong.
Yeah, and it will just like.
I actually, one of my friends told me, one of my old bosses actually, he said that loud noises cause indigestion.
What?
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
I don't know if there's science behind that, but I think it's because
every time I hear like a bus like honk its horn, I shit my pants.
Something
Yeah.
Noted. Yeah, no, but it's like I think maybe the fact that like a sudden loud noise or something makes your body clench and it upsets the flow of things, you know?
Your
You never know.
gastric.
Yeah.
Damn.
Okay, so since we've talked about kind of like past relationships and stuff, the relationships that you've envied, what has made you envy them? And inversely, the ones that you consider to be a cautionary tale, why?
There are so many of those.
Oh yeah.
I hate to be around a couple who argues.
Yep.
My boyfriends that I've had, we have saved any disagreement for the privacy of our room.
Yeah.
You're not going to put that on somebody else.
No, dude.
There are some couples who like to do it in front of other
the
people.
energy around you.
It's
Ugh.
so awkward, and I will excuse myself. Like I can't handle it.
Yeah, you fake it till you get to the house, and then you hash it out in the private. Yeah, no way, because then you're affecting everybody. You know?
Yeah.
I'm also a child of divorce, so that automatically like brings me back. And
I think it brings
God.
it brings up parent stuff. Like my parents, they never argued because arguing to them was like a mortal sin, like fighting or confrontation, which is why I'm trying to be better at confrontation. But like anytime someone is fighting, I'm like, this is wrong. This is wrong. I don't know. It just seems inappropriate.
Yeah.
But couples that I envy my friend Carrie and Simon because I hate when girls are like, I married my best friend. It's like, well, then you're gross. But I do think the idea of that is really nice.
Yeah.
And so, and these guys I'm thinking of now are truly not even best friends, but they're each other's like soulmates. Yeah, exactly.
I want to marry my soulmate. My best friend is my best friend, but also I don't even have like a best friend. But your soulmate, someone. I think that best friends can like be soulmate-ish too, but. Yeah,
and there's no power play. I think that what I like is that if there is something vulnerable they need to share, like I feel weird about this, or like I've heard them communicate in really nice ways that would be vulnerable. Like in other relationships would be, I'm scared to show this part of myself because then they'll one up me. But like, there's none of that. I think the boyfriends that have been successful in the past, for me, I have two big exes. That ended well. We're still best friends, but like
that's a good sign too.
Yeah, we were, and we broke up because one was like long distance, and the other one was like we kind of were better friends than boyfriends anyway.
Okay, yeah.
But like we communicated lovingly, and we never really fought either. I'm not really a big arguer in the first place.
Yeah, me too. I'm too tired.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And if I'm spending my time with someone that I love and I have a boyfriend, we could probably pretty much agree on everything.
Yeah, if we got to the point to where we're dating, we've covered a lot of the basics. You know?
I mean, Andy's my ex-boyfriend, and we host a radio show together. We were together for 3 years. We've been broken up for 20, and hosted a radio show for 10 years. And like, we don't disagree on the air. We banter back and forth because it's a radio show. But like, we agree
There's
on every single
yeah.
thing. Every opinion we kind of pretty much share.
Yeah, there's that like cosmic link where it's
Yeah.
like you can almost anticipate what the other person's gonna think of that
Yeah.
because
And you're annoyed at the same people. That's also a
hmm
bond. I did date some guy and we hated the same people. And that was such a bond. And after a while, it kind of became like all we did was just bitch and moan
people
about
say
people.
I heard couples say that one of the favorite things to do as a couple is
Yeah.
to bitch about other couples.
But it became lopsided, and
Yeah,
that's all we did. But I was like, literally, our entire bond was that we hated the same people. So I think a little bit of that
trauma
is
bonding
good.
maybe
Yeah.
too. Yeah, I find one thing that when I envy couples, one thing that I like admire some green flags is for one, when they're in public, like at
Mm.
dinner or something, or just anytime you see them together, if they still like touch each other in some
Oh
way,
yeah.
they're like anchoring themselves to their person.
Sure.
And
Sure.
I really admire that. Like if you see somebody out at dinner, it'll butterflies when I see people under the
Yeah.
table holding a hand. I'm like,
Totally.
bro, I'm gonna start weeping, because
Yeah.
that it's like I'm anchoring myself to you because I feel safe with you.
Sure.
Incredible. And then also,
Well, I'm affectionate. I like any sort of affection anyway. So I
and
would.
we're from a part of the country that's touchy feely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, my family is very much like that. I like the intimacy of conversation and just like being
Yeah.
together. Yeah, and like another green flag when people are talking, like having a conversation, the eye contact, they're locked in.
Yeah.
I see sometimes guys will be couples, straight couples, gay couples, whatever. They'll be at dinner and one of them's talking to the other one's like their eyes are like wandering and stuff. They're kind of like seeing what other options are out there and stuff.
Mm-mm.
Which like I
No.
guess
No.
if that's allowed in their relationship, whatever. But I'm like, you're not respecting their attention,
Right. Yeah.
And one thing as far as cautionary, I don't like when couples come off as like roommates. I see a lot of like, especially gay couples that like I see them in like, and I think
Yeah.
some part of it might be
Sad.
that they're not trying to show like PDA around and be
Right.
respectful, which if that's the case, you can usually clock it. But a lot of couples, they're just like roommates. And I'm like, bro, you're like, go out there and find somebody who makes you sparkle, dude.
Totally. Well, you know what I'm not doing? I'm not hooking up with married guys and open relationship guys. And there's this whole thing. And by the way, not
If
shaming them.
yeah,
I
if you
probably
do,
will be in an open relationship at some point in my life. I don't know. Never have been, but not against it.
mhm.
Respect it all. But there's an attitude that happens if you meet someone like on an app or whatever, and they're like, you're getting into it. Maybe you're going to meet. It's like, well, I'm in an open relationship, and I'm like, okay, then I'm good. And they get mad.
Yeah, they get mad.
They're
They
like,
get
but we're
so
open.
mad.
That's not my business.
Right.
I don't care. I don't want to be with someone who is married.
And also, babe, I'm involved in this too.
Yeah.
I had one the other day. I said,
It's dismissive, like we were saying before.
I'm like, I'm in this conversation too. I'll say, I don't really like to mess around with
Yeah.
married guys. And
That
they say,
should be enough.
yeah, right. That is a full sentence.
Yeah.
And they'll say, yeah, but what if it's allowed? I said, I do not want to do it.
I don't care.
Right. What about me?
I'm not in your arrangement.
Right. Correct. I
Yeah.
don't care if it's allowed. Good for you. That's amazing. I'm sure you guys have
I've done it before. It's fine. There's a place for that. But like, just
No, I don't like-
right now, I'm not into it.
I don't like the feeling of, because first of all, I'm really only gonna ever hook up with somebody that I vibe with.
Right.
And if I vibe with you, and then all of a sudden I have to leave, and you get to be home and in love with somebody, I'm like, great.
It's giving cake and eat it too, and but
Yeah.
again, I support. I think it works.
giving
It
cake
works
and eat
for
it
people.
too.
It really does. I've
It
seen it work
does.
for people.
Bro, I've said this so many times. I wish I could do this. I wish I had the capacity for this, because
Yeah.
the people who it really works for are thriving, dude. Like,
Yeah, and I mean, I know that. Listen, after 5 years with someone, after a couple years with someone, that might be something you
Yeah,
gotta
you
go
gotta
to.
spice things up, maybe,
You
I
gotta
don't know.
travel and go to the Equinox and get jerked off, whatever.
Mhm.
But like, these people who are getting married and on their honeymoon are sending me nudes.
yeah, I just have no
What are
interest
you?
in it.
You're on your. I have said to people like,
On your
you're on
honeymoon,
your
yeah.
honeymoon. Why are you sending me shit?
Yeah. Yeah, it's when I was younger, I used to get real mad by it. I was like, how dare you? But at this point, I'm just like, I'm not interested. Like, that is of no interest to me. Like, I want to like hook up with people that there is potential for something with.
Yeah.
I will say though, like one of my like fantasy things
Mm,
is hooking up with like friends that I'm attracted to.
sure.
Like there are people that
You
like
never done that?
no, I've done that before.
Okay, yeah.
But that's like to me, that's like one of my like most often fantasies is people that like
You
whether it's
cross
like
the line.
yeah, because
Yeah.
yeah, you cross the line. It's
Mm-hmm.
like territory, like uncharted
Mm-hmm.
territory, and it's like there's no worry of a relationship thing or
Right,
whatever.
right,
It's
right.
something that's just there. But also, these friends aren't in relationships, so it's
Yeah.
interesting that some of us are just not built for the like messing with taken guys. You know, it's just that's a
Yeah.
very interesting phenomenon to
I
me.
try to clock, like, is this coming from some sort of puritanical Christian upbringing? Is this like me being like, oh, you should be monogamous? It's really not.
No,
It's
no, no.
about me, and I think, like, not that it's jealous. I mean, if I had a boyfriend and he wanted to mess around with other people, I would be like, mm. It would take me a minute.
You know what's
I would. I
crazy
don't want
though?
somebody touching my property.
No, exactly. I say I don't like to share my toys. Don't play with my toys. But here's the thing: is that I think it's crazy that we're questioning our integrity for challenging that when all we want is to be locked in with somebody,
Right.
and we want that like we
Yeah.
want the
It
idea.
makes you feel like a piece of meat if they're just
Correct.
using you before they go
Correct.
home to the person they care about.
And I think that's the part that people are attracted to, that are into it. They like being used just as a plaything.
And I will
which
say there's a
cheers.
place for that too.
Yeah, of course.
Who
Hell
doesn't?
yeah.
When I like
That's to
I
me,
did go through a phase of
Yeah,
wanting to
yeah,
be
yeah.
objectified. I wanted to be just like, a
It's an
piece of me.
isolated instance for me.
Yeah.
Like it's a when that urge hits, it's like that's when I want it, and then after that, no. You know, some
Yeah.
people can live their lives in
Yeah,
that, and like
yeah.
kudos to you guys, because also like then the world is your oyster,
Right.
You know, there's so many possibilities for you, but
But at the end of the day, what I want most of all is somebody that I like to hang out with, talk to, laugh about shit with, and then hook up with all the time. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that's a boyfriend to me, is someone who like is that I just want to be around all the time.
yeah, and
Except for when I need to be alone.
I want to always know where my sex is going to come from.
Yeah.
I don't like that game of who knows.
Right. It's not
That is
exciting to
stressful.
me.
It's not exciting,
Yeah.
and I'm tired.
Mhm.
I'm tired. The fewer like variables there are in my
Yeah.
life that are like uncontrollable,
Yeah.
the better.
I also like being with the same person. I like monogamy sex.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of guys I think are closed off, or when they start to feel feelings, they close off physically.
Yeah.
And
I think that's a trauma thing though. to
yeah,
me,
it's
'cause-
very common. Gay guys are like
Yeah.
I had one boyfriend like that.
Yeah. I think it's because it's like sometimes it's like, oh God, I'm feeling some really intense feelings that aren't felt that often, and so
Right.
it's new and it's intimidating.
It's vulnerable, and I think a lot of gay guys' first sexual experiences weren't. How are we doing on time?
No, we're good.
Weren't like, oh, we're dating, we're feeling romantic. Now we're gonna move on to having sex. I think sex happens in kind of strange ways with gay guys a lot of times. Like maybe
Yeah.
it's like with this random person like in the back of a Volvo behind church. Like so. I think it's not.
You know what I think
Yeah.
it is? I think sex is something that's it's more easy to get someone to like you via the sex first, because after that it's the personality, and that's when you never know if they're gonna actually like you. It's like, let me lead with the thing that I'm almost sure they're gonna be
Boom.
into, and then once you start getting into it, it's like, man, if I bare my soul to them, that might be the deal breaker.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
You're right.
I think that's why we lead with that, because it's like we're guys, like we're usually like very hypersexual people, you know. Even if
Yeah.
we don't sleep around a lot, like I still always have like sexual energy.
It's always on the mind.
It's always on the mind.
Yeah.
So we know that like that's a kind of a guaranteed thing as long as you
Yeah.
guys are attracted to each other. So it's like we sell the easy thing first, and then after that, it's like, oh God, here's when we gotta
Right.
pitch the really rich stuff, you know.
Yeah. But everybody is weird. I mean, everybody's got some hang up, and like
that's the thing. If we could just all
once
come
we
to that agreement,
realize, yeah,
we've all got our junk, you
Yeah.
know? Spring Awakening reference.
boom.
Boom. Musical theater.
Are you a Broadway queen?
I long time ago, I used to like do some theater and stuff. But I am still a theater appreciator.
Okay.
So a theater goer. I'm still waiting for ragtime tickets to go down a little bit, because Joshua Henry I want to see really badly.
Now that I know that you're into it, I'll take you to a show because I get press
go.
tickets. And
Oh,
now that you have a
fuck yeah.
podcast, you can probably get press tickets.
I mean, if people care.
They do care. Literally,
Do care? Please care.
you just
so I can go
mentioned
see shows.
you just mentioned Ragtime. Clip that out.
Yeah.
Send it to the Ragtime press office. Go, look, I talked about your show on my podcast.
There you go.
Give me press tickets. They will. I mean, it's
Helpful tips, people.
usually at the beginning of
Yeah.
a show, not the end. But yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
I
Yeah, you're
think
right. You're
there's
right.
dinner
You're
for
right.
me.
Sponsored by Ragtime. No.
No, but that's how you do it. That's
Yeah.
how I do it. Like literally start talking about it in your show and get on their list.
Yeah.
Yeah, do
Look
it.
at you. This is what
I've
it's
been on the
about,
radio for
folks.
10 years and I didn't realize until the 9th year that I could get press tickets for Broadway shows. I was spending like $600 a piece on every show.
Yeah, dude. And there's some good stuff happening right now. So I need
Yeah.
to. I also just need to like make time to go to. I could kick myself for not seeing Jane Krakowski and O'Mary.
She's great. I think, is she coming back?
No, I
Maya
don't think
Rudolph.
so. Maya Rudolph. Yeah, that's
Go
gonna
see
be incredible.
Maya.
Yeah. All right. So because I know just in general, and also from this, the people that follow this podcast are gonna be like thirsting over you. They want to know.
I'm telling you, the angle is bad on me. They're not. I mean, I guess
Bro.
camel toe.
This is good. That one's gonna be good. You forget this one's also like. There you go.
Angle up this way.
Fuck. This is. Listen. I can't do this with you.
Okay, keep going. They're lusting after me. They're into me. They love me.
Like hyping you up.
Yeah.
So what would you say are like the three main characteristics you look for in somebody? We've kind of like touched on this a little bit, but if you could if you could collate it, what would that be?
Funny, smart. I mean, they're boring. Funny, smart, and creative.
Okay. So funny, we think kind of like goofy, like we talked about earlier. Some silliness, but like good humor, not just like silliness.
They have to have a sense of humor, but they are going to laugh at me.
That matches your sense of humor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something that you find funny.
Yeah, like they have to be able to laugh at the same things I'm laughing at.
Right.
Or appreciate. Like I had a guy come see my live show, and he was like, we had fucked a lot, but we never really
That
hung
day?
out. No, and he's like, oh yeah, he's like, I got a sense of now I totally get you now. I got your sense of humor. He's like, it's not my sense of humor, but I think I got it. I was like, okay, never seeing you again. Never.
Damn. Yeah, because here's the reason why that won't work.
But some people don't.
Here's why that won't work is because I cannot stand when someone expects a reaction out of me.
You're gonna get what you're gonna get.
When someone shows me something, if it's
Yeah.
not funny, I'm like, I hate fake laughing. I
Well, I
don't like
won't.
that bullshit. I don't like when people like look at this video because then I'm like, I know you're expecting a reaction out of me.
Are you sure you're not autistic?
I'm not sure.
Let's
No.
go get diagnosed
Let's
together.
go. After this, we're gonna go get
Because
that
I
shit.
don't perceive a lot of times, like I can't be fake, and I don't know how. Sometimes I don't necessarily
No,
read
I know
the
how
right.
to be fake. I just don't want to be.
I
I'm
just
tired.
can't be. Yeah, okay,
I'm
we're
just
not
tired.
autistic.
I'm not giving that energy to
We're
like
just cunty.
pretend to laugh.
Okay, funny in that way.
We are who we are.
They have a sense of humor.
And then you said smart. Smart in like what way? Like,
Smart in a way that I always in our conversations feel we're moving forward, or I'm being challenged in a way.
intellectually
I
stimulated.
can't be entertaining the other person only. The other
Yeah.
person has to be
Yeah.
like throwing out an idea. Well, how about this? Like, I dated a guy for a while who had a big personality online, but nothing IRL, and was funny and hilarious, and everybody loved him. And I was like, I don't get who's this? Where's this guy? He couldn't hang. And then
Which is they're clocked in.
I
And
guess,
then they clock out and then
I guess
that's kind of freaky to me though.
But in conversation, he had nothing to offer, and I was just being like, "Oh my God, how about this? How about this?" You know, or just like trying to get conversation going. And he was always just kind of like,
No. That freaks me out. That gives Patrick Bateman. That is I
Yeah.
don't like that cuz like you're telling me that like the line of demarcation between the real you and your persona is so sharp that
Yeah.
like it's like a whole no.
But he
no,
was
no, no.
witty and he was smart and creative and funny and then, but had no opinions either. Like had nothing to kind of keep the balloon in the air about. Anyway,
Sometimes
this is not about him. It's
It's
about
like
what
you
I like.
pass him the ball and you wouldn't pass it back.
Lead
Yeah,
balloon.
damn.
Yeah.
Sometimes I wonder if it's that like their persona is so exhausting that they're like off the clock and they don't want to.
I think it's
I've
because
encountered influences
it's
like that.
harder. Well, yeah, and, you know, a lot of times I'll have, not a lot of times, but I have noticed that people who are good on my radio show or on TV stuff that I've booked people on, like influencers don't always rise to the occasion. Podcasters usually do. Comedians do. Improvers
right.
do. But it's easy to be a meme poster. And
Yeah.
you don't have
And
to
so
like,
it
speak
is-
as your own self.
And it's easy for your talents to exist in a vacuum
Yeah.
for like one specific moment.
Yeah.
It's like I talked about this with my friend the other day. People who have like a viral moment
Right.
and then like nothing happens after that. And it's
Yeah.
like I almost would just rather that not happen because like everybody wants like to go viral, whatever.
Right.
But it's like there are people who they have a viral moment and then people realize, oh, that's all that there is, you know?
It's, the internet is bleak.
Yeah, it is, and it's like it's ruthless because it'll chew you up and spit you out.
What I've noticed about LA is like a lot of when I first moved to LA, it was everyone was chasing movie stardom and TV stardom and want to be an actor or want to be a model, and now Hollywood's wherever they're producing. It's here, it's
Right,
everywhere,
yeah.
and now a lot of people go to LA. They're chasing influencer fame,
Yeah.
and
Why?
it's made it really a really bleak town.
I've noticed a lot of people are moving away. A lot,
Yeah.
like moving to other parts. Because like also I'm like, why would you do that? Because now you can be a star from anywhere.
I
So why
know.
would you go there?
And also there's a toxicity to chasing a viral moment that like I watched that Manosphere documentary on Netflix where everyone's chasing that flashpoint moment and the desire to get that is from such a desperate. There's no kindness, there's no empathy, there's no
Yeah.
compassion. It's
Everybody's
just
a commodity.
I need money, I need attention, I need it now. And the ways to get there are dirty. And so no one is
You gotta steamroll people.
and like back in the day, you're trying to get famous from your art or from your ability or your
Correct.
skill, and now it's just like we're either rage bait or whatever. Anyway, we're
you-
talking about smart, funny,
Yeah. Yeah.
creative.
Creative. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that kind of goes hand in hand with that. Someone who's
Yeah.
like genuinely creative.
I like being around somebody who kind of gets what I do. If I'm not, my job is to improvise on the radio all day, and then when I'm not doing that, I'm writing a show, writing new material to do a live show, or writing music, and like my world just revolves around that.
Yeah.
And I work better with someone who's like not like no offense, like a finance person or anything.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
tried, and it's and if they're fascinated or if they have a hobby that they like to do that's
Yeah,
creative,
yeah, yeah.
great. But if they have nothing, if they have
No, it's
no
just like-
no interest, I mean,
Yeah.
you can be making friendship bracelets. That counts. Like it's fine. Just
Some sort of
something-
creative outlet.
something that you enjoy doing that is not based around making money.
Yes, something that shows me like a window into okay, you are a human, you're not a robot, right? Okay,
Yeah,
good.
and I just think the goal of money is such a dirty. It's an American nasty desire.
Even if your money thing takes up all of your time, at least have like an element to it that you're creative behind.
I'm
you
trying
know?
to chase joy. I've learned like
Yeah.
that's one thing. I think the person has their goal has to be happiness, contentment,
pay your
and
bills.
joy.
There you go.
Be rich. We're all trying. That's fine. But like, if the number one goal is just money, it's I'm kind of turned off.
Yeah. I always say like I just want enough to pay my bills and
Yeah.
not be like super stressed about money.
Oh, I want to be rich, but I'm going to figure out in a creative way.
There you go. Yeah, it's gonna be the result of you being creative.
Exactly. That's the only way.
Yeah,
I'll invent something on a Shark Tank and be a millionaire.
there you go. That's the way to do
Do you
it.
have an invention you've ever invented?
No, I've invented new ways to be neurotic. But,
Okay.
yeah, no, because I one of my things is like drive, but like in
Yeah.
a driven from the heart, you know, not
Totally.
driven from your wallet.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
drive, and I'd say probably authenticity. I like guys who aren't just like a carbon copy gay guy. You know.
Yeah.
Like there's a time and place where we all like kiki kaka, you know.
Right.
But I like guys who like they're not like somebody who like watches the same shows as everyone, the same music, like does the same stuff. You know, I talks the same way, says, you know, I like somebody who has some uniqueness to them that
Totally.
sets them apart.
Yeah.
You know?
I can't be bored. Yeah.
I want to see some newness. I want to be like
Yeah.
intrigued. And
Yeah.
there's I encounter a lot of people that it's like they are really just a carbon copy of everything. And it's like, come on, no originality, man. I want to see something that's like
Yeah.
specifically you. You know, I
Yeah.
love when somebody has like a really niche taste in something. I'm like, yo, tell me about that. Teach me about that.
Yes.
That's so attractive.
And interest.
That and I'd say like generosity of time and attention. Someone who's generous with their. I didn't used to think that acts of service was a love language of mine.
I think I saw you talking about this on TikTok Live. I signed on to
was
TikTok
I?
and you were live.
Oh yeah,
and I-
oh yeah. Last night you were on there, and I was like literally talking. I was
For
telling
like just a
everybody-
second, but I heard about this.
Yeah, I was talking. I was like, John's coming on tomorrow, but yes, because people on live, they're on TikTok live, they're always saying like, "What do you look for in a guy?" And I didn't. I used to think that it was like that it was physical touch and quality time, and I think it's quality time, and part of it is acts of service because that's how you show me that you care about me.
Right.
Physical touch is like kind of like drifted away because like that's the least you can commit. But like when somebody like does a nice deed for me, like without the guarantee of getting something in return,
Right.
I'm a wet,
Right.
wet. Like do what you want with my body. Like that is what happens when someone does like a nice deed for me just because they want to make sure I'm taken care of, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Game over.
I'm all of them. I need words of affirmation too.
Yeah.
I know that like
It's
I
all just
don't need
varying
just
degrees
words
of each
because
one.
words are cheap. Your behavior and actions are more important. But like I do need to hear some
A little something, something.
something. Not compliments even, but just like I like to talk it out.
Like when a guy's like, yeah, that's my man over there.
I'll take it. Yeah, talk it out. I like to, I'm
Yeah.
also like a dirty talker. Like I like to I'm a verbal queen. I like that. I like touch is important. Acts of service, listen, I want them.
Yeah, I don't
I don't know if
require
I'm
them,
doing
but
them.
yeah,
Like because
I know I'm a little hypocritical on that because I'm like,
I'll go all the way across the ends of the earth for somebody if I kind of know I'm supposed to. Like I'm not thinking like, you know what? Dylan had a long day today. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go buy a foot massager. I don't know. Like I'm not thinking.
if I know you're gonna meet me, you'll meet me there halfway.
Or if
I
you
will
listen,
do whatever.
if you say something like, "Oh God, you know, I have these bunions and it hurts."
Why are we talking about?
I don't know.
feet?
I don't know. I hate feet. I'm not a feet person at all.
Let's not. Yeah,
But
let's
like
not
I
get
don't
to
know
the
if you
feet.
drop something conversation, I'll clock it.
Yeah.
But like thinking, I had a boyfriend who was so good at that. He was always thinking like I had to work out of town and like he flew there and like stocked it with stuff. Like that was something.
Oh, that's
you know,
nice.
yeah.
Oh, I love that.
But like I was like, oh damn, I don't think about that. But I'd like to be better at it.
Yeah, it's like I said, we're learning. I'm learning as I go. Like I used to
Exactly.
think like this is my love, and every time I encounter someone who possesses these qualities, I'm like, man, that's really important. to
What's
me.
the other one? Affirmation, touch.
We're quality
Service,
time,
quality
acts of
time.
service, and gifts.
I can do without. That's fine.
Yeah,
Gifts
I'll
are
buy my
fine.
own shit.
I like to buy people gifts.
I like to. Yeah, I like
I'd
to
rather do
it.
that than service.
Yeah, no, I'd rather no.
I
that's
love
the
to buy a
last
little
thing.
gift for somebody though.
The
I
la-
don't need to get anything.
No. Get it. Receiving gifts. That's the last thing. I'll never be like a gold digger in that way because I'm independent. I'll buy
Yeah.
it myself. You
But
know?
I do want quality time.
Yeah, that's how you build and get to
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
Yeah, that.
So okay, so we want creativity,
Mm-hmm.
smart, and funny. Everybody's like, "Oh, how original!" But it's like
That's it.
That's it. And the problem is that we say that that's so cliche, but it's actually very hard to find.
Yeah.
No, maybe not.
Well,
very
what are the
hard,
other
but, like,
qualities? What?
I don't know.
Rich?
No,
That's
no,
not
no.
a quality.
No,
that
I
want.
guess. Well, I guess mine was like authentic. Mine were
Hmm.
authentic, driven, and when I say authentic, driven, and generous with like time and attention. So
That's
yeah.
wonderful. That's great.
So there you go. That's what he's looking for, folks.
Yeah,
So-
usually like I'm sober, but like a stoner works well who can like laugh at shit
Yeah,
and
yeah,
be
yeah.
chill. I can be down with that. I'm not
So you're
really
flexible. Okay.
Yeah, but like that's the kind of vibe.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. So
Thank you for being here.
show yourself.
Yeah. I'm so glad we got to link up.
Thank you for having me. I hope this looked okay.
It looks incredible. Actually, while you're here, my new like obsession is disposable cameras.
I have one.
This is your good side, right? You said?
Yes.
So I'm gonna get one. This is happening in real time, folks. I'm gonna do. Oh yeah.
No, the lighting's bad.
No, actually, the lighting is incredible. So steely. Actually, should I do one with the flash?
Yeah, doing with
With
the flash.
Oh, see how the legs opened a little bit.
That was for them.
Gorgeous, gorgeous. I'll let you know when it's developed. Yeah, thanks
And
for being
I do
here.
feel like the angle is definitely giving balls.
I did that on purpose.
Okay. Yeah, the chair is literally like stirrups at the gynecologist.
Open wide.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Okay.
See you later.
Thank you so much for having me.
Love you.